Well, I'm at the Realtors Association of Edmonton this morning talking about the real estate market here in Edmonton and what has been happening in the market. I'm joined by Darlene Reed, Board Chair for the Realtors Association of Edmonton. Darlene, lots of changes over the last few months. What do some of the numbers tell us as far as where the market is heading?
It's been really interesting to watch the inventory level shift. We started this year with really low inventory, and our last month stats, July, we had about 20% more inventory compared to last year. So there's a huge shift in our inventory, and we're seeing prices, some of the areas they're stabling, and in some areas they're dropping a little bit, but not a huge shift.
Okay, and so inventory is rising, prices softening just a little bit. What does that mean for people who are thinking about maybe buying or selling and getting into the market right now?
Well, as we shift to more of a balanced market, we're seeing it advantageous for buyers as they have a little more, choice when it comes to the inventory. They're not as pressured, and we're seeing buyers being able to put in conditions like subject to sale of home buyers, which we wouldn't have even entertained at the beginning of the year. For sellers, it means maybe regrouping, looking at how they can make their property stand out and be a little more attractive, and working with their realtor to make sure they have the proper pricing strategy.
Okay, and right now, are there any sort of particular types of homes or neighborhoods that really stand out?
We always see the neighborhoods with those amenities always really popular, like the Southwest Corridor. We see condos and townhomes really appealing to first-time home buyers, mostly for their affordability.
Okay, and if maybe someone isn't sure about how to get into the market, can they contact you to find a realtor?
They can contact the Realtors Association of Edmonton or go to our website. We have a list of all our members there.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, stay with us. We're going to be talking more about the market and more about the Realtors Association of Edmonton and what they do for their members as well as their clients. I'm spending my morning down at the Realtors Association of Edmonton, and we're talking about professionalism within the Realtors Association of Edmonton. I'm joined by Darlene Reed, Board Chair for the Realtors Association of Edmonton. And Darlene, why is professionalism so important within the Realtors community?
Well, the Realtors Association of Edmonton just redid our strategic plan, and one of the key focuses is professionalism. So it's really important for our industry being self-regulated, so we report on each other, we hold each other accountable. So it's really important that we have an association that supports that and has a really good process internally to deal with any complaints or any bad behaviors.
Okay. Why do you think it's so important to manage that and to be so professional?
Well, to be a realtor, you want to make sure that you're providing good service to the public. You want to make sure that your agents are reliable, that they're ethical, and that there's a transparent process. So the Realtors Association, we have a department, our industry standards, and if we see another realtor doing something that maybe we don't agree with or we think it's a breach of the rules, we can report it to our association, and our association will have a process through our arbitration and professional standards to hold people accountable. And that's really, really important to protect the public.
Mm-hmm. And so if someone in the public is looking for a realtor, how do they know, or how can they make sure that they are getting a realtor that is professional and ethical? Well,
I would suggest that people, they go to our website, they can see a list of our members, they can interview a few realtors and kind of pick someone that they can work well with, but also you can go on different real estate websites and search agents, and you can see if they've been sanctioned before, so you can do a little bit of a background check on realtors.
Perfect. I want to thank you so much, Darlene, and stay with us. We're going to be talking more about the real estate market here in Edmonton and the Realtors Association of Edmonton. I've been spending my morning with the Realtors Association of Edmonton, and the association is getting involved in some events leading up to the next municipal election. I'm joined by Darlene Reed, Board Chair for the Realtors Association of Edmonton. And Darlene, why is this important for your members as well as the public?
Well, the municipal bylaws and policies, they affect housing, community, the development in the communities, and the quality of life in these communities. So our members, they see firsthand the effects that these policy decisions have on these communities. A good example is the zoning bylaw. Originally, we thought it would be great to have more housing, but what we're seeing is some of these neighborhoods really don't like it. So we advocate on behalf of our members and their clients to ensure that we're getting the right policies and the right development, and that the development is at the right speed, because we're seeing some of this growth so fast that the infrastructure just can't keep up with it.
For sure. And so how does the association support its members and the public during the election?
Well, we partnered with Taproot, and they sent out a survey to our members, and the purpose was to gather feedback on what's important to our members so that that can be sent to the candidates, and it can actually match our members with the candidates that believe in the same policies as them. We also have partnered with the Edmonton Chamber of Commerce for the Edmonton mayoral debate, and we are hosting our own candidate forum on September 25th. So that gives our members an opportunity to have conversations with some some of the candidates to ensure that they are getting matched with the people that have the same important issues top of mind.
So you're advocating during the election. Do your advocacy initiatives go beyond election events?
Yes, absolutely. So we actually write a lot of letters. We communicate with our councillors and mayor municipally on construction, how that affects housing and the development. We actually work with our provincial partner and advocate for some provincial changes, and we work nationally with our federal association to advocate for housing accelerator fund was a good example, and other housing initiatives.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Darlene. Stick around. We're going to talk a little bit more about the fall market with the Realtors Association of Edmonton. Here we are heading into a new season, fall, and what does that mean for the real estate market here in Edmonton? Well, I've been talking with the Realtors Association of Edmonton this morning, and what are some of the trends and things we need to think about heading into the fall? Darlene Reed joins us, and Darlene, what should we be prepared for?
Well, a seasonal trend for us come September is that the market does tend to pick up a little bit. We see a little bit more activity. As kids return to school, people now have more time to search realtor.ca and they're out looking for homes. So we do see a little boost in activity, and then it tends to taper off during the really cold months. So December, January, it tends to taper off. So we're expecting to see a little bit more activity in the coming months.
Okay, and there's been a lot of talk still about tariffs, affordability, and things like that. How is that affecting the market and things we need to think about?
Well, the tariffs are going to play a big role in new home construction. So anybody who's thinking of building a home or doing any renovation, tariffs are going to be a big impact on that. We also have to consider interest rates. So a lot of people's mortgages are coming up for renewal here in the next 6 months, and they're not going to get the 1.5% that they got. So we might see a little bit of a shift of people maybe selling and downsizing to something a little more affordable, because 1% to 4.5% could make a big difference on people's monthly income.
When it comes to getting into the market now versus maybe holding off, should we wait, or do we get into it now?
You know, it really depends on people's goals. I would suggest they reach out to their realtor and get a plan in place. Some people, they don't want to move in cold months, so maybe they need to buy sooner before the snow hits, or they wait till spring. Some people, they're looking for maybe a price advantage, and they might want to wait and see if prices dip a little bit for the colder months. So it really depends on each individual's goals.
So we really need to reach out to a realtor to get that best advice and what we should do.
Absolutely.
Perfect. And thank you so much for joining us this morning, Darlene.
Thank you.
And for more information, you can always visit the website at the bottom of your screen.